The next day, Daniel woke up different. He didn't feel cold, didn't feel hungry, but he did feel weight in his pockets, where once there were only lint and loose coins. Now there were crisp bills, stacked as if they had grown there. Overnight, he ran to the kitchen. The fridge, once empty, was now full. Expensive clothes, luxury watches, credit cards in his name, all there as if they had always belonged to him. And then, reality began to bend in his favor. Phone calls from important people, invitations to parties he'd never be considered for. Women who once mocked him now smiled with admiration or desire, and men who ignored him now asked for favors, as if they had always been close friends. Houses appeared in his name, sports cars parked at his door like offerings. Vestments he didn't even know existed were now producing impossible profits. Daniel was finally someone, not the failure, not the forgotten, but the man who had everything, and in the middle of it all, champagne, camera flashes, luxury dinners. He laughed out loud, laughed like someone who had conquered the world. But there was something he didn't notice, or pretended not to notice. A smell, faint but constant. At first, it seemed to come from the building's plumbing, then from the new leather seats in the car, then from his own wallet, a strange, bittersweet odor. Something between wet flesh and oxidized iron, as if the money was sweating, but Daniel ignored it. The luxury was too loud for him to hear the whispers of evil. The pact was working. The transformation had begun. And like every infernal transformation, it looked like a miracle at first. At first, it was easy to ignore. After all, Daniel was busy being a millionaire. He had meetings with businessmen, dinners with celebrities, trips booked to places he couldn't even pronounce, but like a silent leak in the ceiling of a mansion. The signs began to drip. It started with a strange sensation when touching the bills. It was subtle, almost imperceptible. His hands began to sweat every time he opened his wallet. Then came the heat. The money was too hot, as if it had just come out of a furnace. So sometimes, when no one was looking, he could swear the bills moved on their own. Some pulsed, others breathed. Yes, breathed. Bills that seemed to inflate slightly, like lungs in agony, as if they were alive, as if they felt pain. Daniel started to feel disgusted when paying for things, because every time he handed over a bill, he heard something. Faint sounds, whispers, words sliced by invisible teeth. ... It wasn't supposed to be like this. ... He didn't read. ... He used us. The cashier at the store heard nothing, nor did the waiter at the restaurant. But Daniel heard it, always. And over time, he began to feel another kind of weight. Not in his pockets, but in his soul, as if every purchase cost more than the price on the tag. He tried to ignore it, threw the bills quickly, used credit cards, made donations, but the whispers still came. And now, even in sleep, the sound wouldn't stop. It was as if the money was in every corner of the house, in the couch, in the tiles, in the garden plants, breathing, waiting, collecting, because the pact was alive, and the price was being taken piece by piece.